Hey guys, welcome back to Marketing Teardown with Andrew and Travis. We are your hosts, Andrew.
And Travis, hi.
Quick recap of the rules of the game. So, we are going to build a marketing strategy from scratch in 30 minutes or less. We have a company pulled up that one of us is coming in cold to. Today, we're going through a company called Little Spoon. And I did a little bit of background research. Travis has never heard of them. And we've got a Google Doc that we just pulled up and created today. Here's our background notes that we'll go over in a sec. And then we're going to build a strategy from scratch here right below. So, you ready to get into it?
Oh my God, I'm so glad I've heard of these people now. Little Spoon.
Little Spoon, join us next week as we go over Big Spoon. Just
Yeah,
the
all right,
brother
let's dig
company.
in. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
we're hitting start on the timer. Okay, so Little Spoon. A little bit of background about them. This is duplicate of the notes up there. So Little Spoon is a company that sells high quality organic baby food on a subscription basis. They just raised a $7 million fundraising round, I believe a Series A, and they're gunning to go after the baby food markets. They've got a super sexy website. They've got fresh branding. They've got what looks to be a really actually strong product and brand, the way they present what they do. Um, and they're looking pretty solid actually. I have a few stats about their marketing presence right now. To dig into their website, we'll go through the whole thing in a bit, but just some top level bits of information. They have an Alexa rank right now at 496,000, with about 25,000 visits a month to their website. And I imagine that's probably only going to grow because they're actively doing content marketing. They're running on WordPress and a combination of WooCommerce and processing payments through Stripe. More on that later. And I'm actually very impressed by the way that they've set up their payment process because WooCommerce is notoriously hard to customize, speaking from experience, and they've done a really good job of that. And like I said before, they're doing some content marketing, so they have a really strong blog and they're pushing hard in the direction of content. That's their website. Breaking down the social media, they have about 2.6 thousand Pinterest followers. They have 1.7 thousand Instagram followers. They have 28,000 Facebook followers, and they have 660 Twitter followers. So they've got a really strong Facebook presence. They've got a little bit of a Pinterest presence and a little bit of an Instagram presence, which makes sense given their vertical and given who they're going after. As far as technology they're using on their website, I was able to find pixels and tags for several different tools. They're using Autopilot. There's a Facebook tracking pixel, not surprising. They're using Mixpanel, Full Story, Intercom, all pretty solid as well. They're tracking analytics. They're running potentially some A/B testing, user experience testing, which I think is solid with Full Story. They are running Criteo, which I believe is a pre-roll targeting platform. I may be getting my platform switched up on that, but we'll come back to that. And then they're running Facebook ads as well as App Nexus. And that's all here in the top of our document, by the way. So when we link this, which by the way, after we're done, this will be linked below on YouTube and on LinkedIn. If you're watching on LinkedIn, we will put this in the YouTube version. So go to the YouTube version to get this, but we put it all here in this document, everything I just said. So that's the basis of it. And I will say persona, which I didn't write down beforehand, but their persona is pretty obviously mothers with small children or mothers that will soon have small children.
Okay, cool. So I'd like to dig in straight into their website. Right now, pretty much the value props aren't very difficult to understand. It's a very, very straightforward model. So what they're doing is they're putting call to actions everywhere saying, hey, get started, let's sign you up, let's get you on a plan. And so as soon as you hit one of these get started buttons, it brings you to a sign up funnel. I like that it's really short, me and my kids, my plan checkout, which is really only 2 steps because then you're into a payment gateway on step 3. Yep. One thing that I really like is as you are going through that funnel, as soon as you drop off and you return back to the site, all the CTAs are dynamic and they say resume sign up.
Yes.
Really well thought out. I really like that.
And that just happened to me, by the way, because I had previously gone through the process. It took me straight to checkout, which is awesome.
I love it. And so in that same vein, what I would do is I would have a A/B tested retargeting strategy across this. So you have unique pixels that are inside of that of the funnel. So a unique page view triggers a unique retargeting strategy, something that's very top of the funnel, trying to get you back into the funnel. So say you make it to stage 1 where you're just putting in your email. You're not really heavily invested, even though there's only 3 steps. I think putting just a generic banner ad trying to get you back to re-signing up. And then at the checkout phase, what I would do is I would either retarget them with some percentage off, or even like a free trial, free gift, something like that, to actually say, hey, this person has really, really high buying intent. We want them to just try our product. We know they were super interested to the point where they were about to actually enter their credit card. We need to show them that this is actually valuable and give them the experience of experiencing the product. And then immediately say, like, on that delivery, hey, this was so great. Get X percentage off for your first 10 packages of baby food.
Yep, completely agree. That was one of my first thoughts as well. And I imagine they might be doing that with the retargeting strategy right now. We're not looking at their actual retargeting ads, although they'll probably hit me soon. I'm going to get so many baby products that are targeted at me that I've spent so much time on their site. Like, I don't have a kid. I'm not going to have a kid anytime soon. That could be something they're doing right now, but I agree. That's really solid. I want to poke into something that you just said a second ago, which is the retargeting off of specific pages in the sign-up process. I think we could even go one deeper down to retargeting based off of event clicks in the sign-up process. You'll notice here when you sign up, it's actually sort of like a quiz, and you can set the age or the birthday of your kid and say, hey, they've not yet started eating solids, they're eating pureed food, they're eating finger food. And their eating style. You could have all of that segmented into your retargeting categories so that you can send hyper specific food offers and messaging to exactly what the type of eater that child is. And I think that would be next level. That would be really some top notch retargeting right there.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just going through the full process real quick. One of the things that I couldn't figure out from the main page is how often is this delivered? And I would assume, have you been through the full buyer's process?
I have, and I'll show on my screen right now in the final checkout. You can set, here it's on my plan. You can set it how many times. So the bottom price or the bottom tier is 1 meal per day, then 2 meals per day, then 3 meals per day, and you do it on a weekly basis.
Yep. So what I would do, the thing that I would be cautious about on here is it doesn't really tell you that you can choose the amount of times that you're eating per day, or that that your baby's eating per day. You don't find that until the essentially the end, when you're out and you're seeing the pricing. I think one thing that they could add is just saying that, like, you get to choose how often it's delivered, rather than saying, like, okay, I don't even know how often this is going to be delivered. I'm just going to jump into buying this thing that I don't know what price it is and how often I'm getting it. So I think that could be a little bit of a misstep, and they could do better there for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And that's one of the things that I think you see a lot when you have, they clearly have a strong conversion-oriented, conversion-optimizing team. They're using Mixpanel, they're using Fullstory, they're using tools that mean they're testing for conversions. And one of the things you see with that is, things like, let's remove price, let's drive people to the sign up, let's remove anything that's going to prevent someone from going to the sign up process. Then people click the sign up process because they don't know what else to do. And it's like, well, yeah, they click the sign up process and our conversion rate is 50%, but people bounce and churn like crazy because they don't know what the fuck they're getting. Like, that's the real things. And I think, we might be seeing a little of that here. So I completely agree.
You're diluting the shit out of your retargeting strategy too, because you're spending more on retargeting because more people are coming through that funnel, and you're not spending money effectively where you could be spending money effectively if you're bringing the right people into the funnel instead of people that are just looking for information. One thing that I think they do really, really well, Andrew, go into resume sign up. Under my plan, we typically don't point out things that are going really well, just because we're trying to tear pretty much all of these companies down.
Yeah. This is really, really do a tear up. Is this a tear up moment?
Tear it up, tear it down. So this is super smart, and this is something that I don't see hardly ever. So they're essentially doing automatic expansion on their product. This is genius. Babies eat more as they grow. Would you like to increase the number of meals as Taka grows?
Oh, yes, please. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, Taka's a friend of mine.
That is hilarious.
Shout out to Taka. I don't think Taka's gonna be watching this, but shout out to you, Taka. I do use
yeah,
sometimes as like when I'm testing things.
amazing. But this is so smart. And this is actually a ticket that I could see a lot of B2B SaaS companies using that I never see. And I don't
Yeah.
even think I've seen much in B2C. But this could be really interesting to test. Even if you're putting like 10% of your traffic into something where you have an option to land and expand, but it's automatically expanding. That's really, really smart.
And you've opted in. You've checked the box and you said, yeah, I want this. In the back of your mind, it's yeah. No,
yeah,
I agree.
100%.
And I even want to dig even further into that, which is this whole checkout process. I have a few things I want to bring up right after we say this, but it's really nice. And the way that they walk you through the quiz and the design of it and the way that it presents pricing and gives you discounts. It's solid. It's really nice. And you don't see a lot of this, actually. I think more companies, especially in the subscription side, are moving to this. But you don't see a lot of this kind of checkout style and onboarding style. And it's good. It's nice. I wish more companies did this, to be honest.
Yep.
One thing I do want to bring up that's missing there, though, is that's your only way to get into the product. And I have mixed feelings on that. I'll back up. Before, what I mean by that is if you go to the baby blends and you look and say, you've got this cool slider, my baby eats simple foods or adventurous textured foods. I want this to benefit your brain and your eyes and immunity, whatever. It's super cool. It's dynamic. It shows all these products. If I click on it, I can't buy it. I can see all the nutrition facts. I can see all the details. This looks great, but I can't buy it. And that I have a problem with because, yeah, I understand they're trying to get everybody to go towards that sign up process. But what if someone just wants to buy one? Or what if somebody has already a customer and they just want a refill or they just want a single one or they just want to get 10 of the carrot, mango, banana, chia because their baby loved it? I think that should be an option. And I have mixed feelings because I understand why they're pushing everybody to the single funnel. They want the subscription revenue. That's their model. That's what their goal is. But I think they could be selling some of these one-offs actually.
Yep, definitely. And even just like the ability to purchase one of these as a way to convert people into a larger subscription plan is the move. And what they could be doing is dropping people into a funnel where they know that they've purchased one, and even testing with, hey, you get 50% off your first month subscription from Little Spoon.
Yes. And that's actually there's one last thing that I want to talk about with their website and how they're converting people into buyers. And that's that it's very well known in e-commerce. One of the solid strategies in e-commerce is getting the product in people's hands as quickly as possible. So you'll see a lot of things like free plus shipping offers. You'll see literally just free products, free samples. If you think of like you go to Costco, you get samples, and then you buy the product. That's why they give it out, is because when you experience it, especially like a food where you can taste it or your baby can taste it, and you see a good result, you have good flavors in your mouth, you like it, you're more apt to buy it because you've had a chance to try it. And I think they could do that here as well, whether or not that's just buying one, seeing if their baby likes it and going on, or if that's pushing people towards a free sample call to action, or like a 50% off, or like get your first blend for a penny or something, right? And their unit price when the sign up process is like $3 a thing, assuming their margins are greater than 50%. I mean, if you already paid $1 or $2 to get them to click there, you can pay $1 in unit cost and $2 in shipping to get them to sample. That's going to pay off in the long run. And if the product is really high quality, like they say, I think they should be getting this product out much quicker. Free offers. Try your first one, 50% off, whatever. I think they should be doing that.
Yep, 100%. As far as contests go, this is definitely something they could. I think it's going to be pretty tough for them to not make money leveraging influencers. Even if you're running contests, you start off with running contests, you get a big pool of people that could be potential influencers, and it doesn't even matter if they have a large following, because what you're doing is you're getting a lot of really authentic influencers. And I think the days of large influencers are over, and now we're living in the age of the micro influencer. So really, as much money as they can dump into influencer marketing, as long as they have a really, really wide spread, not spending not spending $100,000 a post for like Kylie Jenner's baby. You want somebody who is
Yeah.
in the 1,000 to 10,000 range, where you're doing really low stakes. They feel connected to the community, and they're able to like spread so much wider, because this is likely something that is more of a word of mouth too.
Yep.
Somebody is
100%.
going to trust somebody with 1,000 to 10,000 followers so much more than they're going to trust a celebrity influencer baby, because I think Kim Kardashian would probably feed all of her kids fit tea and give them diarrhea without a problem.
Okay, to be fair, I do think that if you had somebody with a big following, like any like major influencer with a child, I do think that could also work as well. I don't know, I'm not as pessimistic on that as you are, but you bring up a good point, and the influencer angle is definitely strong. I also want to tag into that, just the concepts of referral and affiliate marketing. I think that's huge, and that's probably one of the biggest channels right here that we're looking at. I don't see it listed on the site, by the way. It's not in the header, and usually these things will be listed in the footer of a website if they're not, in the header. And what happens is that once people sign up, they'll be sent emails with offers to join the affiliate program, and then they link it in the footer so people can find it. But it's not here, so I'm assuming they don't have it set up yet.
Yeah, right.
I'm guessing it's probably on their radar. I can't imagine they're not thinking about that, especially considering the space that they're in. But that is such an obvious step right now. I think you can't ignore that. That's a must for me right now. I want to get that out right away.
Yep.
And that ties into the influencer marketing too, right? You give them affiliate codes, and they can make money on the sales. So those two things for sure. And by the way, I think we can probably move on to channel strategy. If that's cool with you.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. I was just thinking about, like, these guys must be absolutely crushing their website as far as like hits. They are really not. That's surprising, which actually makes me very proud of them, because they're doing a really, really good job on how they're focusing on conversion. And I would expect a website that is this focused on conversion and doing this well and is this thoughtful to have millions of visitors per month, and they do not. They're at about like 25,000. That's really impressive to me. So good job,
for sure. And while we're on that note, their design is really nice too. Their design is awesome. They've got all these custom little graphics and things. Their branding is solid. Their branding is amazing. It showcases the product, which is really what it should be doing. It's fantastic work. If it's in-house or if it's an agency, whoever built this, nice work.
Yep.
Their content marketing, by the way, they have this thing called the digest.littlespoon. They are active on it. They're publishing a lot. They're doing a lot of top of funnel stuff, not just product oriented stuff. They're taking the route of putting out, informational how-to kind of content, and I think that's pretty solid. I'm sure it's a crowded niche, but I like what they're doing, and I think this is probably going to catch on. 6 months from now, this is going to double their website traffic. 12 months to keep up their publishing schedule, it's going to quadruple their website traffic. I think they're on it here. One thing I do want to bring up, actually, last thing on the website, they put their blog on a subdomain, and I think it's probably more effective if they put their blog on a subfolder. And I'm going to add that here. Blog on subfolder. And the reason why I say that is because on a subdomain, it's going to rank as a separate property versus the main website. And yeah, you'll get a lot of links back to the main site. So it's not like it's going to be in the silo. You'll get the SEO for both sites raised up kind of in tandem, but it won't be as strong as having it all just on one domain. And the reason why because I built a lot of websites, I think you have too, and we've both built a lot of blogs in coordination with those websites. The reason why I'd put a blog on a subdomain versus the main domain is either because the content is going to be different, so it's more like a microsite strategy within the same domain, or because you're running on something like Shopify, which has a very weak content management system. And so like if I'm running a Shopify store, I really like to have a blog built on WordPress on a subdomain and the Shopify store running on the main domain. But they're built on WooCommerce from what I can see. And if they're built on WooCommerce and WordPress, I don't see why they can't just have their blog in a subfolder. I think that's pretty easy to do. And from what I've seen myself and from what I've heard from other marketers and case studies, it's way better for SEO for your main site having the subfolder. So.
On that same vein too, that their video that they have embedded into their hero image, they're currently using a YouTube player, and you have I've been on a pretty big Wistia kick lately, especially if they're going to be using video for any of their SEO. What they can do is they can convert leads with email strategies embedded within Wistia, and then they also won't be diverting traffic from their website over to related videos on YouTube. I think you are probably already in a fairly distracted mindset if you're on this website. Not to say that, I mean, just in general, if you are doing B2C shopping, you are probably in a slightly distracted mindset. There's no reason to give people the opportunity to bounce over to YouTube.
Yeah, you spot on with that. I didn't even catch that. I said there's a play button. I didn't even see it. I just saw this thing, sign up. Like, yeah, that's a really good point.
And also, so I just asked them, hi there, I have a 2-year-old with a carrot allergy. Is my baby able to eat any of the foods outside of your allergies? And that was on their intercom, and that was 6 minutes ago, and nobody has responded yet. I would venture to guess that this is one of their peak times for traffic. I just got off work personally, and this is the time of day that I would probably be looking at their website and probably be having questions. So they need to have people working on this around the clock for sure.
Yeah. Better manning of intercom. Was that on the chat, on the intercom chat?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even see it on mine. I don't know. Am I covering it up with Zoom?
Ghost Grease probably.
Oh yeah, it's probably one of my plugins. That's fine. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that was off by default. Yeah, great point. And that's what I'm working with some clients, and we've implemented some chat solutions right now as well. And that was one of the first things I brought up with them was, hey, if we're gonna have chat, we got to be able to respond right away. And yeah, it's added work for sure. You can't get around that. Whoever's gonna be on chat has got to be there 24/7. I remember back in Denver, before I left, I remember we were out at a bar one night. You would just put chat on Cinebudy's website, and like we were out getting drinks, and you were like, "Hold on, I gotta take this sales conversation." You go back and hit him up. He's like, "All right, we're gonna talk about this tomorrow." And then we like went back to our conversation. I was like, "Damn, like that's what you need if you're doing chat."
Yeah, 100%. One or more people have to either delegate or be 100% committed to responding to that, because Intercom has a fairly basic bot that will say, I asked about an allergy, and it responded with, how do I know my baby is ready to start solids? If I know my baby has a carrot allergy, it's probably already starting solids. So that's not really
it's basic, but it's not there.
Yeah, it hasn't helped me at all. If anything, it should just not be displaying this chat.
Yep. I agree. And actually, I will say one more thing on chat. I think we might need to add a few minutes to the timer, by the way. I was one more thing on chat is that, there's a lot of debate on like which chat tools you should use. I think you guys use Drift. I've used Drift in the past. I've used HubSpot chat as well. It's pretty solid. Intercom works, and Intercom is solid too. One thing that I do want to point out is that anytime you use a Facebook Messenger connected chat system, that conversation isn't siloed in the website. And so like a lot of time you'll have a tool like Drift or Intercom or HubSpot, and you'll put in the bot, hey, leave your email address, we can follow up later. And yeah, you won't have 100% conversion rate on that. In fact, it'll probably be pretty low. And then when people put that out there, you can follow up if you don't get to it. But if you have a Facebook Messenger connected bot, that ties to their Facebook account, so it lives in their Messenger messages. And that way it's always in front of them and they always have access to it. It's not siloed in your company's website, your company's tools. Something to think about. I think there's a lot of value in that.
Yep.
All right. I think we gotta throw some more time on the clock. You think another 10, go through channel strategy, and then we'll go into the next steps. All right, so we'll throw 15.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Give it a bump. We'll see what makes it into the LinkedIn cut. I really wish LinkedIn had longer than 10-minute videos. They're so early in their video processing. All right, so channels. So we have micro-influencer marketing, referral and affiliate marketing. Those for sure are out there. I will say Facebook ads. They're already advertising on Facebook, and that's absolutely the right thing to do. That's the most obvious channel for them right now. B2C, yeah, Facebook's almost always going to be the answer. Similar to how on B2B, you're probably looking at LinkedIn and outbound email out of the gate. For B2C, you're looking at Facebook ads right away, and that'll include Instagram as well, of course.
Yep.
So put that in there. There's a whole host of things you can do in Facebook ads that don't need to get into right now, but I have tons of ideas about stuff you could do on Facebook just in that one channel. I imagine anybody who's worth their salt at Facebook advertising would be able to go nuts with this product and with this category. So that's top channel right there.
So one thing I think they could for sure do is Facebook groups. Facebook is always trying to double down on groups, especially if there's a locale to it. So even if you're like single moms, Northern California baby nutrition group, right? Things like that. I think just literally making it so outside of the realm of sales focus. And if you want to get tricky with it, what you could do is you could export all of your group members and then retarget them. Or what you could do is you could do a super what we'll call pre-funnel strategy, where you are trying to assume what buyer's intent will be a month to a year before they actually need your product. So anything value add for people in pregnancy, anything value add for people who are recently married inside of a certain income bracket. Adding as much value and gaining as much trust as you possibly can. Almost doing it kind of like an enterprise SaaS strategy, to where you're saying, hey, I know that this person is in a certain income bracket and I know they're at a certain marital status. At some point, they could be our customer. Let's add as much value as we can to them. And let's see if we can get them to trust us because we know our product will be valuable to them in 1 month to a year.
Yeah. What did you call that, by the way? I loved your term when you first
pre-funnel.
Pre-funnel marketing. Did you make that? Is that yours, or did you hear that somewhere?
Yeah, I just made it up right now, baby.
Dude, that's sick. I love that. Pre-funnel marketing. That's the kind of thing that you could coin. I like that. Pre-funnel marketing.
That's just the hashtag pre-funnel shit we've been doing over here, boys. Cooking up them pre-funnels in the kitchen, daddy.
ClickFunnels guy. What's his name? Russell Brunson is. He's coming for you.
Yep. That guy commands the cash for sure.
Boy, they have a baby like a year. And it's what's cool is that you can do that like a year. You can do that for a lot of different products, but this is so it's based around one life event. You have a baby, boom, it's on. Now you need this thing. It's I like that. That's really awesome. Let's see. This
is interesting. Did you see they only have 7 million raised?
Yeah, only 7 million.
That's pretty impressive for something that is essentially like local food manufacturing that is like very quick turnaround and probably not very high margins. That's pretty crazy. I wonder if they're trying to just say, hey, we're trying to validate this model. If it becomes validated, then in another 6 months, we'll raise a super beef Series A.
Yeah, they're building their brand like they're going to go big. And like how impressive their brand is and their branding is and the focus on product is at this point in the company's life cycle makes me think they're trying to go big. So I don't know. And this is not a new idea. It's been around. I'm sure there are companies doing this. It's like really, I think at its core, it's a branding play and it's a new take on something that's probably already out there. But yeah, I like it. All right. So moving on into some other channel strategy. One thing I think they could do is mommy blogger networks. Actually, I'll put that under affiliate marketing because that's well within the realm of affiliate marketing. And if you haven't heard of this, I think you've probably heard of this, but anyone watching this, if you haven't heard of it, mommy blogger networks are literally, it's exactly what you think it is. It's moms that are blogging, and there's this whole like community on the internet, which I didn't know about until I heard about it from other marketers. But millions and millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people and mothers, and all across the world are visiting these mommy blogger quote unquote sites, and they like network together and they're all making money through affiliate revenue and selling products and supplements and everything. It's just it's like this whole dark underworld to like motherhood.
They control the media. Control the media. Oh, that's hilarious. Also one thing to touch on branding real quick. they're super into the idea that Little Spoon isn't a totally hilarious brand name, and they call their consumer advocates spooners. I think
Yeah,
with that,
yes,
either
yes.
that that's hilarious or don't. Try not to fall somewhere in between, because it feels really weird. Like either choose it or don't choose it.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, but that's great because any negative press or positive, it's like it's harmless. Any press on that is good, I think. Um,
Yep. I
on
just
that
watched
note,
their Instagram story. That's what like it says,
oh,
"Hey
that's the
Spooners,
thing.
check out some amazing root posts we've been getting." Oh
I
man.
love that. I can see some people being pissed off about that, and that makes me happy. I think if you get people pissed off on the joke, like they just didn't get
Yeah,
the joke.
the edgy moms,
Yeah,
edgy
the
mommy
edgy
blogs.
moms. All right. So on that note, I do want to bring up a few more things. I think PR is definitely solid for them. They've already got some press mentions on their homepage at the bottom. I think they could bring this up there actually closer to the hero image, but Business Insider, Vogue, Forbes, Fast Company, whatever. It's all very business focused. I like to see some PR from like Oprah or like I don't know, New York Times, something that's more consumer oriented. I don't know. Well, I'm not a mom, so I don't know what they're reading, but I want to see stuff from
Yeah,
people
yeah,
their target audience are listening to. And I think there's a big PR focus. Um,
yeah.
Audience media and publications. I do also want to dig into, I think, Outbrain, Taboola, and those kind of news targeting platforms are solid. And this is audience and demographics big enough you can target on those. It's really obviously a channel for them, and it ties in with their content marketing really nicely as well. Any of the content on their site is already perfect material for this channel. And it's really low cost. I honestly think if they turn on Outbrain or Taboola tomorrow with their existing blog content, they'd see an ROI pretty much instantly. So I would want to do that like right away.
Yep, 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 yep.
I do have a few other things to add in here from my notes. Um,
I mean, there's so much lateral stuff they could really do. Like
mhm.
10 hobbies for your pregnancy period, like going through like I just Googled top pregnancy hobbies. Um, you're gonna have like a lot of time where you're doing a lot of thinking when you're pregnant. And that is all as much value as they can add to that lateral segment of people that don't really need their products quite yet. Um, the better they can hone in on that, I think the more successful they're going to be.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I want to add on top of the channel strategy, sort of in the same vein as that of the right, because they're focusing on huge audiences, huge demographics. I think TV advertising, like
Yep.
more traditional TV advertising, is perfect. They're going to hit the right audience, and they can cast a wide net like that. And yeah, they'll hit people on
Yep.
shows that are in that pre-funnel category, and they'll get people in advance. I think TV advertising can be huge.
Yep.
B-roll, YouTube advertising. If they have better video, I actually didn't watch the video. Was their video any good?
I didn't watch it either. I got distracted by the YouTube. By
Okay.
the YouTube.
Dude, it happens too much. By the way, on YouTube, on the mobile app, that you can double tap the side and it skips 10 seconds, and you can triple tap and it skips 20, and like so on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, I use it all the time. I didn't know about it until I accidentally hit it. And I was like, oh, what's this? This is weird. I'm never going to use it. Now I do that all the time. I feel like, dude, I go on like LinkedIn or like
Yeah.
other platforms and I'm watching videos and I'll try to skip and it won't. And I didn't realize that it was such a really, really nice user experience until I started doing it on other platforms. And I'm like, oh, this is genius. Like every video
Yeah.
platform should have that. It's so smart. But anyway, I digress.
So I just watched some of their YouTube video on their homepage, and it's pretty much a stop motion video, but it doesn't have any subtitles, which I think is definitely intentional because they're very brand focused, and normal subtitles would probably just look awful on a video like this. But I think they definitely should do another cut with some sort of explanation with like almost like whiteboard written subtitles where you can understand what's going on, without any audio whatsoever, because I'm sure a lot of this is watched without audio.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to, again, I haven't dug into their videos that deeply, so I'm not sure they might have this, but one of the things on their video content, I like to see stories about nutrition and where the food comes from. I think that's critical. And that's also really good middle of the funnel retargeting. You get somebody who reads an article or content marketing, hit their site. Now you retarget them with stories about the food. And it's very nice middle of the funnel content. You get people to think, this is organic, this is fresh, this is real. I like this, I know what it is. And then later you hit them with the offer to actually buy it. And when they already think, because they saw those other videos, that it's organic and it's a good product. So I'd like to see that. I'd also like to see more customer stories. Their branding is amazing, but it's all very like stock photo-y and kind of machined. And I think more customer stories, and that's photos, videos, quotes, language, it's just everything. Everything should have more customer stories in it, and that's missing right now. I can't imagine they don't have that. They have 28,000 followers on Facebook. Take some of those Facebook comments and put them up here. So I think that's
This is totally a Cinebody plug, but literally you could turn every single one of these customers into an influencer just by having them tell their story. And then anytime there's a contest, like they just distribute it back. They distribute one video back to 75 people that are just like barely micro influencers that that submitted some of their video, and then under the ask of what Little Spoon is asking, and then they would absolutely redistribute to their following.
Yeah, I plug away, by the way. We can on the show we can plug whatever we want. So if you got pluggables, plug the hell out of them. You got an offer? Can you give them an offer? Can you just shotgun like an offer for them if they sign up for Cinebody?
Yeah, totally. So I just had this great chicken sandwich over at Zeppelin Station. I was either gonna get the hot or the extra hot, and I just got the regular hot, and it was really, really good. I can't remember what the restaurant was called, but that's my plug.
No, I was gonna say if you want to give them an offer for Cinebody, if Little Spoon signed up, but I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
That was, I'm down. I'm down with that sandwich.
Plug free on this
sandwich plug. All right, Cinebody offer will come later. Hit up Travis and he'll get you a quote. On that note, I do want to say one of the things that's a really good hack is sending free product to micro influencers. All you have to do is take a box, maybe one subscription box, a week's worth of food, $10-20, send them to a micro influencer or a meso influencer, if you're whatever influencer, give them the product. If they have a small child, have them try it, see it out. If the product's good, they'll like it, they'll talk about it, they'll share it. For smaller influencers, that can often just be enough to just send them the product and get them to try it, and they might become a customer and their entire audience might become a customer. So I think just doing that is such an easy thing, and it's perfect for this business model. It's very low cost. I want to drop that. One more thing that I want to drop in here as well, and this is very much a growth hack, but subscription box partnerships. I know that there are different networks, like you get Blue Apron or whatever, and you get like inserts in, hey, you should check out our partners, and it's this and it's this, and sign up for Spotify and a fucking million podcasts and whatever. If they plugged into those subscription boxes, especially in like similar demographic categories, I think that could go a long way. It's already people that are used to the model, people are used to paying like that, people that like that, and you get them in with the right offer, and it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, if you're looking at more branching channels too, I was thinking this earlier, daycares could be an interesting way to go.
Ooh, I love that.
Here is you're dealing with consumables and you're dealing with food allergies, but if you can somehow figure out a way to navigate that to where you can put daycares on a subscription model, then you could actually do an outbound sales process where you're targeting people who own daycares and offering that as a revenue model for those daycares.
Oh, I've got an even better idea on that. So that got me thinking about partner programs. Like HubSpot is a great example of that we're familiar with and that marketers would be familiar with. HubSpot has a partner program where if you sign up and buy HubSpot through one of their agencies in their program, you get a percentage of that monthly revenue indefinitely, as long as that other person's a customer. And that's one of the key parts to how HubSpot's been able to grow. Get daycares to sponsor with you, stock the food, and our timer's up. Dude, there's a lot to talk about. We've been going hard on this one. Get daycares to stock your food. Say, hey, we'll get us on the program. We'll supply the food for your baby daycare for every day. You have to coordinate the allergies, but if you can sell any of the moms on continuing the subscription, we'll give you a percentage of the profits. Or we'll hook you up in the affiliate program. Boom. In every daycare ever could be part of your selling network in a partner program. And they are a continuous source of new customers because they're going to be one of the first places that people go with new children. So I'm so psyched on
Yep,
that.
that's totally just like a sales value prop for daycares too. They're like, oh yeah, we also source the highest quality baby food, and you also get a percentage off when you're at this daycare only.
Yeah, yeah. We source the highest quality baby food for the highest quality babies. Would
They're
you look
high quality babies. What do they call their food? One of the tabs is called baby blends.
Oh my God. The sampler are baby blends, high quality babies.
Okay, I finally got I finally got a response.
Oh, you did?
After yeah, so that was actually 30 minutes afterwards.
30 minutes. Ooh, yeah. 30 minutes too slow.
Yeah, it's not normal buyer behavior. I would have been gone.
You should tell them, message them back and say, hey, you guys took too long to respond. I'm gonna sign up with somebody else so that they can
Yeah, medium spoon.
Yeah, medium spoon. I'm gonna buy from medium spoon instead.
Sweaty hands, big spoon.
Yeah, yeah. All right, cool. Let's bounce on to next steps if you're cool with that. Yeah, you got anything else
Yep.
to add, or you wanna?
No, I think this all looks great.
All right, sick. So next steps. You wanna kick us off?
Yeah, next steps, I would say amp up micro influencer marketing.
Yep.
Facebook ads for sure. I'm sure
Yeah.
they already have a killer strategy, but adding contests in there, there's pretty much no way they can go wrong.
Yeah, and I'll say contests and quizzes and giveaways. Giveaways
Yep.
kill, and they're huge for e-commerce, and they can tie it into their product.
Yeah, I mean, if they can have quizzes to where they identify allergies and how picky their baby is, pretty much diverting what is already into their sales funnel, which is just that checkout process
Yeah,
where you're already saying how picky your baby is. If that's literally just a quiz on Facebook and then passing that data into step 2 of their checkout, then they're pretty much all the way there.
yeah, that'd be fantastic. And I know Lead Quizzes is a tool that I've used in the past. I don't think it's on Facebook,
Yeah.
but I know that's a very solid quiz tool. They got to be careful though. I think that's what Cambridge Analytica did they like fucked up Facebook's image and like tanked their stock and everything. But anyway, all
Selling
right,
individual products, I think, is pretty high up there too. I think selling
yeah,
individual products is really important, even if selling individual product is giving that product away. On it does that, and
yeah.
so on it,
Rainbow
like they'll
Trophy,
give you
right?
their Alpha Brain, and you order it, and they immediately throw you into a subscription package, which I think is super annoying. But if you already have your credit card on file and you let them know that they can start a subscription by one click of a button, then I think that's a winning strategy for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, what else?
Blog on subfolder. That's the easiest thing they could possibly do, and it's something they could do in 10 minutes that will help them
Well,
a lot in the
10
long
minutes.
run.
I mean, they're going to want to be very careful about that because that can have SEO implications. But yeah, it's
Do it in 10 minutes, little spoon.
yeah. Cool. I like that. I'll add a few things on top of this. Going back, we actually put so much stuff out here. I'm going back to make sure I know what we talked about. I agree. I think the individual products and an offer for customers, either free or low cost, that's my number one. I think they should do that right away. The influencer marketing, I think, is obvious. And I'm going to attach to that note affiliate referral program. I think they should get that up ASAP. Referral programs. Actually, that's my number 2. I think the first offer is my number 1 because they're going to leverage their existing traffic. Affiliate program is my number 2, and then on top of that, I think Outbrain or Taboola, because they already have the content. Like literally, they just turn on the campaign, put a few split tests on their ads, and they're fucking making money. And then as for our growth hacks, let's see. I think the customer stories are crucial, and that you can't ignore that. That's a pretty key part, especially since you're building a strong brand. That's really important. And then lastly, I love the pre-funnel marketing. I'm gonna drop that in here.
Pre-funnel marketing.
Actually, you know what? Forget about the pre-funnel marketing. You know, I think they've got lower hanging fruit first that they can tackle. I love the idea. That's my favorite thing that we talked about, about their strategy overall. But I think at this point, it might be a little bit further down the line. Like that might be a Series B strategy because then they're trying to branch out.
Yep. Yeah, that's a pretty deep cast of the fishing line.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing with the daycare partnerships. That's like a Series B or Series C situation, but I think that
Yep.
could be like, but that's like a thing you do at scale, right? Like that's how you go from like 50 million to 200 million or whatever, or like 200 million to like 500 million. Like that's a scale move right there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna drop in on the micro influencers and the affiliate program also, sending free products to audiences, influencers. Love that. All right, that's my ads.
Sweet.
Cool. I like this. It's a ton of fun actually. It was an interesting one, and there's I think a little
Yeah,
lot of
totally.
elements, but there's so much here that can be done. It's really actually kind of an exciting marketing project. Oh, how could we forget a channel? Google Ads, of course.
Yep.
Google Ads. And by the way, for e-commerce, Google Shopping is usually one of the only profitable options for Google Ads outside of video content and like display advertising, because it's so specifically tied to what buyers are looking for. So you hit bottom of the funnel keywords with Google Shopping when you're going B2C
Yeah.
e-commerce. For more expensive items, search marketing through Google Ads can have an ROI, but it's a lot harder. And usually you're only dealing with bottom of the funnel keywords. So it's really, really hard to advertise and stuff that's not just like directly the product you're selling in e-commerce. We'll give it our final shout out. Pluggables, we got a plug for Cinebody. For you, go check out Cinebody if you want sick video content, crowdsource from your people. Shout out for me, check me out, andrewishimaru.com. And I've started actually posting on my blog some more marketing strategies and analysis. So go check that out. And if you want to comment on this on LinkedIn, drop a comment below. We will read all of them, and we'll hear whatever you have to say. If you're seeing this on YouTube, drop a comment below also. Just comment. That's all I want you to do is comment.
Oh yeah. If you want to find me on the internet, just search Travis Page on LinkedIn or go to cinebody.com and buy all of my stuff.
Perfect. Final plug. If you like this, A, find the people at Little Spoon and share it with them. And B, if you know another marketer that you think would dig all the shit that we did here, send it to them too. We're trying to spread the love.
Yeah, and if you can think of any insane companies that would be super, super hard to grow, drop them in the comments too. We want to find the craziest stuff that aren't a bunch of softballs.
Boom. Yeah, we want a challenge. All right. Peace, guys. This is fun.